What's up, Mavletic lovers and listeners, and welcome back to Maverick Postgame. I hope that everyone was feeling lucky last week as it was St. Patrick's Day, but it was also the start of all CMU spring sports. That means we'll have a lot more to cover, such as soccer, softball, and lacrosse. With that being said, I'm your host, Justin Platt.
And I'm your host, Sydnee.
Let's get into all the game-breaking stats, off-the-wall wins, heartbreaking losses, and in-depth analysis of our CMU athletics. Roll it!
Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Sydnee.
And I'm Justin Platt. Let's hop right in and take a look at all the Mavtastic action that took place this week here at CMU. As I said, we will be talking softball, and what better way to start off the season than with a 4-game sweep. In Mesa's first 2 games in a matchup with Adams State, CMU claimed back-to-back Mercy Rule walk-off wins. The Grizzlies came in hot, winning their last 4. However, Mesa had all the answers, putting out the Grizzlies' flame and starting their own. Mesa crushed Adams State in a score of 12-4 in the first game and 14-6 in the second. The leading scorer in the first game was Nicole Christensen, who scored 3 runs in the game, and the leading scorer in the second game was Lauren Wedman, who scored 5 and tied a school record for hits in a game with 5 as well. In their second 2 matchups with Adams State on the weekend, the result was much of the same, with CMU being even more ferocious, even more ruthless, and even more dominant. CMU stomped on Adams State with a score of 13-2 in the first matchup and 8-0 in the second. In the 4th inning of both games, CMU combined for 14 scored runs, exploding for 8 in the 4th quarter of the first game and 6 in the 4th quarter of the second. When it really matters, Mesa doesn't miss. CMU knocked out 21 total hits in the second stretch of games with Adams State, with the leading scorers being Ellie Smith, Allie Disler, Drew Sims, and Brooke Domer and Nicole Christensen, who all had 2 home runs over the weekend. As a team, the Mavericks hit at a 47% clip throughout the entire weekend, scoring 47 total runs with 49 hits. This includes 9 home runs and 16 for extra bases. Now hitting at an RMAC leading .405 on the season, the Mavericks will head out on the road to face the conference's other offensive powerhouse in Regis, which currently sits at 3rd in the RMAC standings at 8-2.
Men's baseball team went 2-1 on the weekend in their matchup with UCCS. In the first game, Mesa had a very balanced attack. There were no exploding innings like we've become accustomed to. However, Mesa consistently put points on the board, winning Game 1 in a score of 7-6. Game 2 was another close matchup, yet with more of the big plays and innings that we expect from Mesa. Mesa scored 9 runs in innings 4 and 5, runs in inning 6 with a grand total of 15 on the day. That was enough to edge out UCCS in a score of 15-14 in Game 2. In Game 3 against UCCS, Mesa narrowly lost in a score of 6-5. UCCS scored 1 last-second run in the 11th inning to break the tie. Mesa was once again led by their trio of stars being Tanner Garner, Spencer Bromwell, and Hayden McGarry, who each scored multiple runs over the course of the weekend. Of the Mavericks will be back home next weekend as they prepare to face off against Adams State.
It's the first time that we are talking about lacrosse this season. Unfortunately, we're not starting off with the best news. Women's lacrosse fell to 1-2 on the year last weekend against the Lindenwood Lions in a score of 18-13. The Mavericks were led by Ashton Whittle, Kylie Davis, and Lauren Wick, who each scored 3 goals in the game. While CMU didn't win, they are just the second team to score double-figure goals on the Lions this season. The other 3 teams that Lindenwood has faced has put up a combined total of 9 goals. Lulu Mitchell came up with 16 saves on the day off of 34 shots. As a team, CMU took 20 shots compared to Lindenwood's 39 with 24 turnovers to Lindenwood's 17. There were only 5 caused turnovers and 14 draw controls with 4 free position shots to Lindenwood's 5. The team will take Monday off as they prepare to face the Greyhounds of the University of Indy on Tuesday.
Women's soccer team lost in overtime to Westminster last weekend. Mesa is now 2-2 and 1 on the year and 0-1 in the RMAC. The Griffins held a 20-17 advantage in shots and a 7-5 edge in saves. Those 2 misses are what determined the game for Mesa as they lost in a score of 2-1. Westminster applied a lot of offensive pressure to Mesa after not scoring in the first period. However, this increased pressure is what allowed them to score once in the second period and once in overtime. Lila Deary took 8 shots and scored the lone goal for Mesa, and the Mavs will head into a rematch with the Fort Lewis Skyhawks next week.
Now that we have recapped all the games, it's time for our Maverick of the Week. Our Maverick of the Week this week goes to Lauren Wedman of CMU's women's softball. Wedman, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference leading hitter in 2021, went 5 for 5 with 2 runs in the second game, delivering her solo home run to clinch the doubleheader sweep against Adams State. Wedman was 6 for 7 throughout the day after going 1 for 2 with 2 walks in the first game. She also scored 6 runs and became just the 4th Maverick to record 5 hits in a single game, joining Brooke Hodgson, who did it twice in 2018, and Sarah Phillips in 2014, and Whitney Bailey in 2010. Wedman, who has now recorded a hit in 20 consecutive games dating back to more than a calendar year of February 23, 2020, is hitting at a .618 on the season. She also moved into a tie for the RMAC lead for home runs with 6 RBIs of 21 after her Saturday afternoon. Congratulations, Lauren, for your stellar performance. You are our Maverick of the Week. Okay, Sydney, what are your closing thoughts for the week?
I would like to talk about CMU's softball team. We know that the men have been great so far this season, but the women have been just as dominant. Mesa's 4-game sweep over Adams State is just the beginning, and they are only going to get better as the season goes on. Not to mention, they have that beast, Lauren Wedman, on the team.
The women's lacrosse team, Wedman is an absolute beast. I want to bring attention to lacrosse, which we have not talked about. They're not off to the best start, 1-2 on the year so far, but they're closer than we think. Their offense has a lot of firepower. 3 players scored 3 goals on the team. Not to mention that they are only the second team to score double digits on the Lions. The defense is the issue. If they can knock down their turnover total, then that way it'll take a lot of pressure off the defense, will allow them to collect their thoughts and allow them to get rest, which will help the defense overall. And that can improve and make them a scary team, especially if they develop that through the course of the season and down the line. That could really help them go on a major playoff run, which could hopefully end up in maybe another championship here for Mesa. I mean, you never know, and we always like an underdog story here.
Very true, very true.
Well, now that we've recapped all the action and given our 2 cents, it's time to close the show. I'm your host, Justin Platt.
And I'm Sydnee Flotron.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on a new episode of Maverick Postgame next week. Stay safe, study hard, and of course, have yourselves a Mesa amazing day.